So, we're now starting the meeting. Notice is hereby given and members are summoned to attend the meeting of Holbridge Council, Monday the 13th of April 1830, blah, have been summoned. Right, the meeting will be recorded by the Parish Council in accordance with Local Audit and Accountability Act 2014. Members of the public and press may photograph, film or audio record public meetings. Anyone wishing to do so should inform the chairman before or at the start of the meeting. Who's recording, please? Okay, thank you. Members are reminded their responsibility under the Code of Conduct, Standing Orders and 7 Principles of Public Life: self-defence, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty and leadership. Recording is permitted during the public meeting, but not before it starts or after it is formally closed. Please stop recording when the meeting ends. Another note, just to make sure we're crystal clear on this, there's a member of public sitting where I'm pointing here. He is not to be recorded. Right, we move on to the agenda. Right, number 1, apologies for absence. Have we got any apologies for absence? Is anyone absent? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. Declarations of interest. Has anyone got any declarations of interest for tonight? No. Right, okay, public forum. The chairman will invite members of the public to present their questions, statements or petitions. 15 minutes. 15 minutes with 3 minutes each. Does anyone from the public want to speak? Carry on, please.
Good evening, councillors. At the council meeting of the 19th of January this year, Councillor Isabel Hutchinson was dealing with the electrical testing and pointed out that she'd had problems getting quotes and that there was also issues with documentation in the council office. Subsequently, the council passed a vote to pay out approximately £380 per property for electrical testing. At the Planning Properties Emergency Planning Committee meeting of the 22nd of October, the committee voted to accept the quote from JWK Electrical for approximately £240 per property. I appreciate tonight you cannot probably give me an answer, but could there be an answer as to why this quote never went forward, please?
We'll get back to you at a later date, thank you. Isabel, do you want to answer that?
As far as I'm aware, Paul, I never saw that quote. So I hadn't got that to hand when I presented what I did at that meeting in January.
I totally accept that. But I would ask the question, when the vote went through planning properties in the committee, why did the deputy clerk not take it forward due to the urgency of the testing?
As I said, we'll get back to you on that. Thank you, Paul.
May I have another question, please?
Yes, carry on.
At the council meeting, the extraordinary meeting of the 2nd of April, you did state to me that there was a member of the public, which I'm not going to mention his name, who did not want filming. Could you give me an explanation as to why both videos of Holbridge Parish Council posted on YouTube both have very good images of him in the meeting?
The recording equipment that we use greys out the subjects. I then present on every single meeting a snapshot of that greyed out area to a member of public. That member of public then says yes or no to it, and then it's published. So, as far as I'm aware, to this day, that member of public is happy with the footage put online.
Well, I've got a very nice photograph here.
Well,
that shows him very clearly taken off this morning.
As I've just said, it's down to the member of public, yes or no, and that member of public is happy with the
what you
footage.
put online.
Yes.
Right,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? No? Thank you. Reports from elected members. To receive reports of elected members of Lincolnshire County Council and South Holland District Council. Any reports?
I've been absent from myself on quite some time, as I have from HPC, so I haven't got anything. But on another matter, Chairman, as I discussed with you just before the meeting, there's a number of items on the agenda that have either already been dealt with or they haven't got the information available yet to deal with them. So I would propose item 6D, the .gov domain, that's already been done. Item 8A, the BAS allotments, that's already been actioned. 8D, track shed, there's no new information and that's been discussed previously at Open Spaces. 8G, the Open Spaces meeting notes aren't available. 9B, the change in places pod, again that's already been dealt with. 9C, Carter's Path quotes, they're not actually ready for discussion yet. 9D, the SIDS, they've already been actioned because they're back up. 9E, Park Bungalow, again that is not ready for discussion yet, nor is the agenda item quite worded for that discussion to take place properly. 9F, planning matters, we have now received the list, but that was about 2 hours before the meeting and I haven't had a chance to go through any of them.
They won't download them on phone.
Yeah, so I don't believe we can discuss them because we haven't seen them.
Okay.
And then 10B, the SHDC event, that's already been approved. So I propose that we remove all of those items from the agenda, which should speed things up quite swiftly.
Have we got a seconder for that?
Yep.
All in favour of that? Thank you.
And then, just so we don't delay things even more, again, item 7A, the clerk and RFO contract, because we will have to be discussing confidential staffing matters, which obviously everybody's probably aware of now, and it also will include finances and employment matters. That one will need to be taken into closed session. Item 7B, the acting RFO, we will need to be discussing potential candidates, personal information and staffing information. So again, that needs to be taken into closed session. Item 8E is fencing quotes, which are commercially sensitive until they're agreed. So that will need to be in closed session. And 11A, the HR advisor quotes, again, they're commercially sensitive until they're agreed. So those 4 items could be agreed to take into closed session, which also speeds things up a
That's
bit.
your proposal for that. I've got a seconder on that. Yeah. Have we got in favour of that moving into closed session? Good, thank you. Right, okay, so I've just got to go through this, so you didn't mention 60, I think I was trying to type some down anyway. Right, okay, so that moves us, public forum, corporate members, moves us to minutes, I believe. To approve the minutes of the meeting as of correct to the accurate record. We've got quite a few minutes on there. We'll go through one at a time, and obviously. So we've got a minutes of the meeting held 8th of December 2025. Sophie?
Again, as I've mentioned a few times, they don't include all of the resolutions, and there are a few other inaccuracies again, which I'm happy to go through properly, as I've done already, but they can't be included.
Right, if you're not happy, yeah, so instead of reading them all out right now and going through them, I propose we put them in writing and then...
Yeah, again, the 19th of January ones, that's got some decisions missing or miswritten, etc. And the same with the 26th of January. And the 2nd of April ones, again, they were received 2 hours before the meeting. I haven't had a chance to go through them.
Okay, so your proposal is?
Proposal is to defer all those items, and I'm happy to send through my full detailed list
Right,
after the meeting.
Seconded.
Second on that. All in for deferral with them items? Thank you. Right, okay. Right, finance and admin. Okay, to approve the bank balances of 31st of March 2026. I have got them somewhere. The folder mine before me, but I know we've got much more paperwork somewhere. we go. So as far as I'm aware, the bank balances as of the 31st of March 2026, the CCLA fund contained £349,166.52p. Barclays Business Premium account had in it £29,069.48p, and the Barclays current account had £3,213.03p in it. Are we happy with it? Yes?
Yeah.
Proposed to accept then? Yeah.
I propose.
Seconded? All in for that? Thank you. Right, next item to approve the payments list for February, March and to date. Sophie, I believe you had a problem with the payments list.
Yeah, so just taking the historic ones, February and March, obviously we didn't meet, they were done under the delegated powers of the clerk. Unfortunately, as Aidan especially knows, there were some inaccuracies on them. That's partly down to the fact that we're not using the actual software, so there will be some human error. And they are not correct as of what was actually spent in those months. We're legally required to publish what we actually spent. So my simple solution to those is that we don't authorise those two because we don't need to, because it's already happened. We just publish a redacted form of the bank statement, and then that's a full and accurate record of what actually happened for February and March.
Okay, have we got a seconder for that proposal? All in? Thank you. Anyone against? No? Right, so that's the payments for the February, March. Was that February, March and
No, that was just February and March.
February,
Do you want
March?
me to discuss today?
Yeah.
So an updated payments list has come out again a couple of hours ago. One of the matters has been corrected, but there are still quite a few inaccuracies on there. Some of the contract payments, particularly for the LGRC, is not correct. There are some ones that are meant to be grants to individual groups that are put down. So, for example, the mower, I think that's about £2,000. It's actually meant to be a lot less to the Bowls Club. And there's a few other bits and pieces that are on there. So, unfortunately, the payments list that's presented to councillors is not correct. That anything that's contractual will require a late payment charge can be authorised by the clerk under delegation if we don't agree the payments list. And the risk is if the council agreed that payments list tonight, then that is exactly what has to be paid, which is going to be a bit of a problem, especially for some of the contractual ones. So I would suggest we don't approve it. That would be my proposal, and that anything contractual gets authorised by the clerk this week.
We could. There's quite a lot of payments on there that are not contractual. I wouldn't like not to pay everyone on that list. Perhaps a deferral. We'd have to have an extraordinary meeting though, wouldn't we?
Anything that's not paid through contractual payments or late payment charge will automatically go to the next meeting anyway. So that would mainly be your grants for several groups and things like that. One of them, I understand Councillor Hutchinson is trying to check whether that's already been paid with that group, because there's uncertainty as whether it's already been paid. So you don't want to approve another payment if it's been done.
No.
But everything else is standard payments that are either contractual or will incur a late payment charge if we don't pay it. For example, the credit card bill is not on the list that does need to be paid.
Right.
So there's several things that you're going to incur more risk if you approve it than if you don't approve it.
Fine, that's fine. Okay, so the proposal is to not approve it at this stage. Seconder on that? In favour of that? 1, 2, 3. Are you in favour? Who's not in favour, sorry?
I'm just abstaining.
You're abstaining,
Yeah, sure.
3.
I'm abstaining.
You're abstaining. Right, so what's that give us, sorry?
You had 5.
You had
Me,
5
Sam, Isabel, Eddie and Peter voted for it.
for it, so you're okay. All right then. And against, anyone against that? No, okay. There's the payments list. Right, item number C, to approve and accept the income list for February, March and to date. Is there any issues with the income list as supplied? Anyone?
Sorry, the only thing would be, the only one I've reviewed, because that was the one sent out in the original documents pack, was the income for February. I see that another document pack came out 2 hours ago.
Yes.
I'm unsure, because I haven't gone through it, whether the March and to date ones are there. But again, that'll be resolved by publishing your bank statements, because the income's also on there.
So we could...
So I'm happy with February, but I can't approve something I haven't seen.
Right, okay. Just for reference to anyone thinking, why is all this the last 2 hours, we've, our person in the office has had troubles with his laptop. A new laptop has been ordered, but I supplied him with a temporary laptop like 3 hours ago, so he's had a mad rush trying to accumulate all the documents, send them out to councillors, which is why all the councillors have received them late, just in case anyone's wondering what's happened there. So, to approve the incomes list, so we will not approve that list. The proposal is not to approve the list.
Proposal would be to accept the February one, and then again the others can be dealt with either by bank statements or once the system's up and running.
Okay, have we got a second on that? Okay, have we got a vote for the approval of February, March and then to be dealt with later? Okay, thank you. Right, item number D has been removed as per earlier statement, I believe. Right, what does that leave us? This is as far as I got when I was rubbing through documents, so...
Seven's in closed session, so...
That's closed. Is there any ones that anyone can spot that are not moving to closed session on the appointment of officers? No? Okay, so then we move to open spaces. That one's been removed. We've got, therefore I believe we've got a park supervisor report recommendations, 8B, for consideration, correct?
Yep.
Has everyone seen the report? Has anyone got any issues with the report? Right, so for consideration does not say for it to resolve, so that's just information purposes only.
It says for approval. But, oh no, sorry,
Consideration.
I'm reading the next line down.
Just to note in the report, you've got the section where there's additional operational needs at the end, which are the considerations that the parks team supervisor wants us to look at. New bins and liners for Park Road Cemetery and Carter's Park, and new watering cans required for the cemetery after others have been vandalised. They've got 10 in brackets, 6 replace and 4 spare, so I believe they can just be actioned anyway through delegations, so that's not a problem.
Okay, fine, thank you. Right, item number C, amended asset register for the ground supervisor for approval, please resolve. Has anyone seen that asset register? No? Anyone?
Yeah.
You had.
It was in the pack.
Has anyone got any issues with the asset register as supplied? No?
Can I just make a point on it? For those that have seen it, there are a number of items that are either no longer there, so they've now been marked as no longer there, or they need to be scrapped or removed, and some items could be either sold. So it's been updated, but we do still need to make a decision on how we're going to move forward with getting rid of anything that is no longer required. So how we're going to dispose of them. Whether you want to review that at a later date, just accept the updated asset register, but we do need to start thinking about key items. If they've got any value,
Yeah.
we need to dispose of them.
Suppose we leave that to the Green Spaces Committee and see what they recommend.
Okay, can I have a proposal then for that, please?
Proposal?
Second?
Second, yeah. All in favour of that? Thank you. Number D, I've got strike through, I believe that was mentioned earlier. E, fencing quotes.
Close session.
Was deferred, didn't do my strike throughs quick enough. Right, okay. I don't believe Strawberry Fields was deferred. So item number 8F, Strawberry Fields land proposal for consideration. I believe there's been quite a lot of stuff sent around the council regarding this. Does anyone want to say anything about it for anyone that don't know?
Well, I remember,
Yes, right,
I remember discussing this in, I think, June last year, and I'm pretty sure that we opposed it. I think it was then supposed to go back to PPES committee, and it
Yes.
wasn't actually put on the agenda, so it wasn't discussed. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a bit of land that we don't need, I don't think. It was offered to South Holland, it was offered to the church, they said no. It was offered to Lincolnshire County Council, and they said no, and we said no. From memory, I think it was the village hall, or was it the church that wanted to use it for the Jubilee celebration, and the residents said no. It's no use to us, it's just going to be maintained, and it's in their leases for the houses that they maintain it. It's got a sewage treatment plant on it as well.
And keep it.
I feel the correspondence from the residents says it all, really.
It does.
They don't want it, they don't see the benefit for the council. We don't really need more land to upkeep. I don't disagree with Mr McNally from the other month saying that acquiring property in the future is a positive thing, but I can't see that being a positive step forward at the moment. It's just more expense to the people.
It's never going to be
It's not going to be
usable space, is it?
No.
And they've got a huge playing field anyway.
Okay, so does anyone want to make a proposal?
Propose we say no thank you.
No, thank you.
Seconded for no thank you? Yeah. Everyone in favour of saying no thank you? Thank you. Right, I seem to have lost the rest in my paperwork. Has everyone got the rest of the agenda?
Yeah, I'll give you my
Yeah.
copy.
Sorry?
I can give you my copy, but I
I probably have got it, but there's a lot of paperwork around. Right. Sorry for notes of open spaces meeting that was referred, wasn't it?
Yeah, don't need to.
I did here somewhere. So I've done a lot of strike throughs. Regards to, so we've got nothing left on the PPES committee.
Could I just make a comment about
Yeah.
that, even though it's been dealt with in the SIDS, which is something I used to do a bit. We did actually buy one solar panel, which is, I think, was decided it was going to go near the primary academy. I mean, I've got a contact at Lincolnshire Road Safety Partnership regarding putting a new post up, and it's going to need a post. There was cost for that, it's £200. What was it, might have gone up.
Found it.
Any reaction to that?
Yeah, so that came to council. LCC suggested a location for the post,
I have.
but council were not happy with said location. So we were meant to be going back to them and then trying to negotiate a new location within the area, because it wasn't really going to be right on the approaches and things like that. So
Yes, Peter, if you've got a contact, that'd be great. 'Cause
Well, it's Graham Butler who,
yeah, it's sitting in the cupboard.
yes,
ready to go.
It's ready. It's there. It
but we
is.
need to decide where.
We just
where
need
the
a
post is
sensible
gonna
location, because where they were talking about was right in front of the school,
go. Okay,
which to me is a silly place to put it.
what, between the two gates?
Yeah,
Okay. Because there's a SIG mounting plate on,
yeah,
as you go past towards Tesco.
yeah. But obviously it's got to be a proper post in the ground, isn't it?
Concreted in post, and it's got to be a metre away from.
Yeah, So it's finding a location that is suitable along that stretch, but obviously it doesn't want to be too close to the school, because if they're turning in or whatever, it's not
Yes.
going to have any effect
No.
whatsoever. And if you're too far to the
So
roundabout, then it's not going to have
So
any effect.
presumably it's going to be put on the left-hand side coming off the roundabout.
That would be the most sensible, yeah.
Okay.
Alright?
Yeah.
Right, okay, I've found my stuff now, that's right, okay, so there was nothing left on the PPS committee, I understand.
There's one item A, just an update.
Oh, right, okay.
So, following on from the conversation about the electrical certification, they have now all been completed, all of the properties have been completed. The only one that still has outstanding work to do on it to make it pass is the chapels. But we held off on doing that because A, we're not actually using it at the moment, and I want to wait till we get into the new financial year. So now we're in the new financial year, that can now be actioned because it still needs to be compliant.
Quite a lot of work, didn't it?
It didn't need a huge amount. It was more about, there could be more work depending on what we do with it, but it was about, it needs a new consumer unit.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing that needs to be done to make it compliant at this stage.
Right, okay, so we move on to section 10, events and PR committee, to elect members to the events and PR committee. Have we got anyone that wants to be on the events and PR committee?
No.
No?
All I was going to be saying is, I get that you're ready and raring to go and you want to get on with it, but as next month is May and we're going to be setting the committees again, you'll only be appointing people for literally a month and then you'll be doing it again, so is there really any point doing it?
Well, we'll give people the option in case anyone does.
I'm happy to make the numbers up.
There you go. I'll nominate him. I'll have him.
Alright, 2 seconds. So the proposal is seconder for...
Yep.
Yeah, and all in for that? Okay, thank you.
I'll beat you to it.
Does anyone else want to go on to the events and PR committee?
We've got 3, that's all we need.
Right, okay. We've already done that. Right, okay, so 10C, fundraising event for Bounce Cup House for approval. This literally, all the paperwork for this has now been submitted. It literally came into my inbox about 20 minutes before the meeting. I've circulated it to all councillors. This is the paperwork because that event has been expanded to become a bigger event.
Well, I haven't read it, so...
But, yeah. Isabel?
Yes, it's there. I've had a quick skim of it, but as it's so late in the day,
Yeah.
can we suggest that it's reviewed by the clerk
Yeah.
and they give approval, because it is just literally looking at the insurances, etc., and making sure you're happy that everything is in place, and if you're happy then there's no reason we can't go ahead.
So could you reiterate the proposal,
So
please?
I would propose that, subject to the approval of the clerk for the paperwork, then we're happy.
Okay, seconder on that?
That's fine. Friday works out, mate.
Okay. All in favour of that? Thank you. Right, section number 11. Right, HR advisor service quotes for consideration and resolution. Is anyone...
Closed session.
We'll move that to Gwen, to get some striking through. Sorry about that. Any agenda items for next meeting, item section 12? No? Right, section number 13, date of next meeting, that's proposed to be the 11th of May 2026, information purposes only. Right, well that was rather quicker than I was anticipating. Okay, so we've now moved to the exclusion of press and public, to resolve to agree to exclude the press and public under the Public Bodies Admissions of Public Meeting Act 1960 due to the confidential nature of the business to be transacted. Publicity would be prejudicial to the public interest for reasons including the consideration of sensitive staff matters, legal advice and personal information, as being under Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972. We've got a proposed seconder for that. All in? Thank you. That's the end of the public meeting then, please.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I know.